Okay, everyone, sorry for the late start. We had some technology problems. We'll begin, as we always do, with the invocation and the pledge. If you wish to join, please rise.
Bow your heads. Heavenly Father, as we gather here today, we ask you for your guidance and wisdom in our discussions. May our words be thoughtful, listening attentive, and our decisions made with the best interest of all involved. Grant us clarity in mind and unity of purpose. As we work together, we thank you for your opportunity to collaborate and ask your blessings in our meetings. And as it says in Romans 13, chapter 1, let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Amen.
Everyone would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Bell.
Here.
Curran.
Here.
Freeling. Present. Harrison.
Here.
Hinkleman.
Here.
Ott.
Here.
Pitchford.
Present.
Tyler. Here. Bullrat.
Here.
Werfel.
Here.
Yarborough.
Present.
Elliott. Chairperson Elliott, you have 12 present and none absent.
Thank you, and I'm here too. We'll do the minutes of 2 weeks ago. Any changes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the Board of Commissioners on February 13th.
Okay, moved by Tyler, supported by Werfel. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Ma'am.
Mr. Chair, we have closed session minutes we also need to approve, and I will make that motion.
Okay, I was gonna do that right after communications, but that's fine. There's a motion to approve the minutes from the last closed session. I don't remember the date off the top of my head.
January 9th.
January 9th. That's what I thought. Is there support?
Support.
Okay, moved by Tyler, supported by Pitchford. Any discussion? We're just gonna do a voice vote on that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, sign. Those minutes are approved. Now, communications, Madam Clerk.
We have 3 communications, an email from Southwest Michigan Tourist Council for Shop Sip and Celebrate Women's Weekend in downtown St. Joseph, which was received on 2/18. An email from Berrien County Public Transportation Local Advisory Council with a resolution of support creating a consolidated countywide public transit system, which was received on 2/19. And finally, an email from Southwest Michigan Tourist Council for top picks for winter cocktails and mocktails received on 2/26. That is all the communications.
Thank you. Now, public comments limited to resolutions, and that would include the added resolution ending in 2154. Anyone wishes to be heard about resolutions? This is the time. Okay. Based on the response, I'd say it's all good to go. So we will move into the consent calendar. I'm looking for a motion and support to approve the consent calendar, again, including the resolution ending in 2154. Moved by Volrath, supported by Bell. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Curran.
Yes.
Freeling. Yes. Harrison.
Yes.
Hinkleman.
Yes.
Ott.
Yes.
Pitchford.
Yes.
Tyler. Yes. Bullrat.
Yes.
Werfel.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes. Going to the flip side of the page, we'll do committee reports. Jim, why don't you lead us off for admin?
Thank you, Mac. First in to see us this morning was Don Trail, our building and grounds superintendent. He talked to us about the deferred maintenance list that is ongoing. He did tell us the process by which the windows in this building There were some complaints from our employees about draftiness, those type of things. And so Don was able to work with the contractor and go back through and make any corrections. Sometimes it had to do with trim, that the trim was put on or fit differently than it was before. So those things were taken care of, and the complaints have dropped dramatically. I asked Don how he likes working with this company BlackBerry, because they won the bid for the jail. And so far, he's okay with what has transpired here, and they're not done. So you're gonna see them back here in March. They have 3 windows yet to do. Other than that, Don is chipping away at our deferred maintenance list. After Don was Brian, and Brian brought to our attention the efforts of Andrew and Wenzel, our reps, and he went to all the committees, so you're all familiar with that. He also provided us with a copy of an article from the Herald Palladium about the Silver Beach concession stand. Good to go there with the city of St. Joe. And then I know he also talked to everyone about the traffic flow down at Silver Beach. The one thing I'd just like to point out is that just for this year only. They're still coming up with a long-term fix, but the one way is just gonna be for this year only. They're still working on that. After Brian, Mark Heiliger stopped in to see us. I had asked Brian to make sure that what Mark presented at Chickaming Township on the Red Arrow Highway project is exactly the same information that we have, so that nothing has changed, so that the board is up to speed on what is happening with the Red Arrow Highway project. And so Mark was in to see us and said that it is exactly the way it was presented to us. Nothing has changed. And just as a reminder, we still have to do this for 2 more years. That project's not going to be done until 2027, because I think everybody on admin was tired of hearing from him on Red Arrow Highway. So unfortunately, we got 2 more years to go, but everything is good there. The last thing, well, we have a resolution for you next time we get together. It's just a speed study. It's for Roosevelt Road from Marquette Road to its end. It's requested by Lincoln Charter Township, so you will see that. The city of St. Joe submitted a property use request form for the courthouse. I was doing some research before I would move that property use request forward. I'm done with my research. We have moved that forward. We've agreed with the city to let them use the parking lot with some stipulations. And some of the stipulations they had mentioned to us first anyway, and we just kind of agreeing to them. And it's basically the west parking lot only. It doesn't include the employee parking. It doesn't include anything to do with the sheriff's department. It's Monday through Friday after 6 p.m. and then on Saturday and Sunday. Any enforcement action will be taken by the DPS there at the city of St. Joe. The signage, during that period of time, the signs that are up there now are gonna have to come down. And they're gonna have to erect new signs from the time period of May through the end of September. And we have tasked our legal counsel to figure out the verbiage, because it has to be enforceable. The wording on that sign has to be something that St. Joe City DPS can enforce. And the city of St. Joe will pay for all that, and they're perfectly fine with that. So we did move that forward, and that is our report.
Questions for admin? All right, then let's do PHS.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We also met this morning. We had a number of personnel-related items, an advanced step for hire request for the health department that we did approve, as well as a reclassification in the public defender's office relating to social workers. We did approve that.
you've already seen three of the actions that we reviewed and approved: the per diems, new grant administrator for remonumentation, and then the mobile unit for the health department. Again, that's a grant application. We met with Chief Newbecker and Jill Adams to talk about the changes down at Silver Beach. And so that was very informative, had a number of questions for them. We also had our quarterly report from Maureen Adams from Veteran Services. We talked about some funding issues related to the state of Michigan, and so we'll be doing some follow-up on that. We also had the opportunity to have Annette Christie come in and talk about policy changes. And so you'll see the first bolus of those coming here in the near future. And then we still got some others that we're working on. And then we also had the appearances by our chairman and the administrator. We talked about a number of issues, and that was very informative. And that would conclude our meeting.
Questions for PHS? All right, Madam Chair of Finance.
Thank you very
You're
much. We had a visit from Jill Adams, our Director of Parks and Recreation, and Steve Newbecker from the city of St. Joe. And they wanted to update us on what they're doing with Silver Beach, or what is being done with the concession stand at Silver Beach at the expense of Ann Reed's. And there's still the 5-year grand plan, but this will help us to get there in a financially better way. And there is such a need. And so it's going to be, I imagine they're working on it, or will be working on it as soon as possible. Jill came back at the end of our meeting to show us the surface of what the ground will be like under the playground equipment, and that they have been doing it, and they will keep it maintained, so it will always be down flat and not ends, because it's a barefoot place. So they're working really good on it. It's a super job. And then I wanted to let you know that we had some very interesting information from Administrator Bissett about the nuclear plant and about the, I can't remember what was they're going to do there are a couple of big companies that are working with the nuclear plants, and we don't know how it's going to be, but it's to do smaller reactors, and all kinds of things are going on in our counties and in our communities right around us. We had bids and waivers. Oh, and you had that picture that you gave them about the concession stand that was in the Herald Palladium. Excuse me. We had bids and waivers, and one was a roll-in refrigerator for the jail. The other one was for the repair of a grader that's owned by the road department. And when they went in to work on it, they saw some other things that needed to be done, and it was still cheaper to make the repairs rather than going out trying to buy the equipment. I'm just trying to see if there were other things. I think that's it.
Okay, any questions for finance? We'll go into commissioner reports. We'll go clockwise.
No report. Again, thank you to Brian, Jill, our sheriff's department, which under Sheriff Greg Sanders, and Sheriff Height has been working really diligently to work with the city of St. Joe. So thank you for that. I believe in the last 2 weeks, I attended the Marion County Mental Health Authority with Commissioner Ott. We discussed just capital needs. Riverwood is looking to invest in new facilities because the current facilities that we have are aging. And so we were just exploring whether that's building a new or purchasing property within the area to call home next. So we'll have more updates as we meet in the future. And that concludes my report.
I had an opportunity to serve as a Youth of the Year for the Boys and Girls Club panelist or judge for the panelists that were there. We ended up choosing Carlton Burrell as the Youth of the Year this year. And I want to tell you that that was one of the toughest choices we've ever had to make. Both individuals who applied and who gave their speeches were amazing. Great public speakers, great backgrounds. Both of them want to go on and do amazing things in their life. And it was just an honor to be there and serve in that capacity. Myself, Commissioner Werfel, and Commissioner Yarborough were at the Chick-fil-A grand opening where we got to see the ribbon get cut. Really cool to see that coming into Benton Charter Township. Now we don't have to go to South Bend for Chick-fil-A. It's right down the street. I live right around the corner from it, so this is going to be a problem in my household. And finally, I got the chance to be Joey Andrews' honoree last night at the State of the State, to be on the floor to see the governor give her speech. And it was just magnificent to be in that hall and to see all those individuals and network like we did. So thank you, and that's my report.
Thank you.
Myself and some of the other county commissioners, I attended the Southwest Michigan Chamber of Commerce Business Recognition Breakfast, and I want to congratulate the Parks Board and the park, and I want to thank them for doing a great job at the Silver Beach project.
I attended or participated in the HR director interviews after last Thursday's meeting. I attended the 911 meeting, and I think the two big takeaways from the 911 meeting is lean and the mobile digital terminals that are going in the cars. Those are quite expensive for all the local units. And I'm guessing that at some point in time, and I think they've already approached Dave and they've approached me on the county helping to finance some of that. Some of these smaller, like fire departments, they don't have the resources to meet these needs. Now, lean just applies to police because the federal government says you have to encrypt that information now so that people at home and scanners can't pick it up. So that's a different animal, but still has a pretty good sized price tag to it. After that, I attended the Southwest Michigan Planning Commission along with Commissioner Frayling and Commissioner Werfel. And the two big takeaways from that is John Eaglehoff said he's been there for 22 years, and the per parcel or per person contribution for each of the counties has stayed the same the whole time he's been there, which in our case is 21 cents per person. So that stayed the same. And the other takeaway is, and I thought a chokeway as soon as they brought this topic up, they're coming up with an AI policy that other units of government can use as a model. So I thought of you when, because every time you report it out on AI, you just scared the hell out of me. But anyway, okay, that's my report.
I did attend 911 with Jim yesterday instead of going to the ribbon cutting for the chicken opening, but well, there's gonna be one in Watervliet soon too, so I may get that one. There's going to be, yes. Jim mentioned the mobile mobility. We did get new quotes on that based on two separate, the fire department doesn't need one thing, the police department wants something, so they're different. They've given new quotes on that, and we're gonna set up another meeting with that committee soon to find out who's still in, who's going out, and what's gonna happen financially. So there's nothing, we wanna keep that thing going because it's a big issue for those who want in, and they want in real soon. So we're gonna keep that thing going. And then Monday, we had our first judicial and public safety meeting up in Lansing for MAC, and Eden County's got a problem, and it's money, and they're gonna try and pass another public safety millage in May. And if they don't pass that, then they're gonna cut out their road patrol for one thing, specialty courts, and a dozen other things, because it has something to do with the tax roll last year and what happened. They lost money. They couldn't get the money back. They got voted down. So they were appealing to our committee to try to get some legislators to change some wording so that it makes it easier to pass a millage that was just, they're not asking for any more money. They just want to update the old one, and that did not go. So they're gonna lose a lot of things, including their road patrol in Eden County if they don't pass this in May. So there's gonna be some more talk about that soon. And I think that's all I did this week.
I'm here.
And I found Alex.
No real report, but I just want to piggyback on Commissioner Bell with the Mental Health Authority, considering building a new building, purchasing property. We discussed between us a little bit that the property that the county owns out in Napier out there, perhaps the commission should consider working with the Mental Health Authority on building out there. I mean, to me, that would be a great idea. It would get the projects, a project started out there and improvements made. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
I attended the interviews for the HR director, the CEO council, the LEPC meeting, and then also was at the Chamber Awards ceremony. And again, appreciate all the work done by Jill Adams and her team down at Silver Beach.
Ditto that. I attended the breakfast, number of things over the last few weeks, the CEO meeting, the MAC HHS, which we had a speaker on the mental health. Yep. And the three of us, to Dave's point, the three of us do represent Benton Charter Township, and Kathy Yates, our supervisor, does appreciate when her commissioners attend. So it was a great event yesterday. It was the best ribbon cutting I think I have ever been to. The extent to which Chick-fil-A and the owner, Justin, was that his name? Took this, it was incredible. The honor guard, the sheriff's honor guard was there to raise the flag on their property, on the new property. The Benton Harbor High School marching band was there, played a number of tunes, including the Star Spangled Banner with the flag raising. And there was a number of people there from the community and a number of first responders. So I missed the 911 meeting. I was here for part of it, but because it was in a new location yesterday, a lot of people were late because they went to the old location. So then I had to leave and I went over to this because it conflicted at the same time, but it was a great event and great for the community. And what they want to give back to the community that he talked about is really incredible. HHS chose to talk about, or we had a speaker on the mental health, and that speaker chose to talk about how the state was mandating new programs in mental health and didn't have funding. And he was preaching this to a bunch of county commissioners, which were all like, okay, we get that all the time. Welcome to our world. But anyway, then we had a planning commission meeting, we had opioid oversight meeting, which we're in the process of doing some evaluation on the projects that we had awarded. We will have some information coming back to the Board of Commissioners on that, and possibly even presentations from those organizations to show what they have done with the monies, and so that everybody can see that. So that, look forward to that. Connexus, we had the commission council, so the 3 counties of commissioners. We had our or every other year meeting that we have to have according to the bylaws. It was time to move the chair of that over to Berrien, and I got to be that, as Mamie said no. So now I have Connexus meetings like almost every week. Anyway, I'm learning more in depth about a lot of things that work that's going on. We're taking that from Cass. Roseanne was the chair, so that's moving over. I'll officially start be in that position in July, which is their annual, but we do the election in January, February, so that you have that transition time. And the Chamber of Records we talked about Chick-fil-A. I think that's it.
Absolutely. Sorry, I can't be so lucky. I think he was giving me the eyeball of if I was going to say no report, but that's not the case. I was also a part of the HR interview that had happened, the business breakfast
Southwest Michigan Planning Commission, along with Commissioner Kern and Commissioner Warfel. Another thing to take note of, there will likely be some information coming forward from the Material Management Plan. That committee and the work that they've been doing, deadline is fast approaching for work plans to be presented to the state and the TIBARD money. And then that leads to other discussions about money and whether or not the state's appropriated those dollars for the plans that they've asked for counties to create. But that's for further discussion as more information comes forward. I too was a part of the opioid oversight committee, reviewing some of the materials that was sent to those programs that were awarded. And then the last thing that I just want to put on the radar of the commissioners and also to put out there publicly is that this coming Monday, March 3rd, in this room at 10 a.m., I put 9 a.m., 10 a.m., the BC BIT, I can't talk apparently, is putting together a meeting for different municipalities as it relates to BEAD funding. For those who may not remember or know, BEAD is the Broadband Equity Accessibility Deployment Grant that is coming through the infrastructure bill to the NTIA, that then worked with the MyHigh office in the state of Michigan to create an application process that's open to internet service providers to apply for the $1.4 billion that have been appropriated to this program in the state of Michigan for finishing out connectivity objectives on broadband. And so outside of the efforts that we have already done as a county to connect our communities, we still have about 2,000 parcels that do not have an option. They are unserved by definition. And so we have the municipalities invited to come to consider the efforts that are ongoing here within the county through the internet service providers, through the county itself, and then consider a letter of support for the efforts of their internet service providers that may be targeting those areas within their municipalities. So those letters have been sent out to the municipalities, and we would encourage anyone that would like to come to attend that meeting here in this room, 10 a.m. this coming Monday, March 3rd.
To any of the other board members, if you have questions about what's coming on Monday, please feel free to give me a shout. The thing that I want to stress to all of you, if you hear from your local officials, there is no out-of-pocket being requested by the local units. There is no out-of-pocket being requested by the county.
Yeah.
This is solely about the internet service providers coming, talking with the local units about what they're planning to seek funding for, and they will then need letters of support from the local units. We have given out a draft letter of support. This is one that it really is that final push to get all of the remaining addresses connected. And for the local units, this is going to be the lightest of the lifts that they've had to participate in. All that's being asked is to provide support statements to the ISPs that are planning to apply. This is an exciting meeting. We're getting to the end of getting everyone connected.
Sure.
Sure.
Oh, question, yes.
So when is the deadline on that grant?
It's April 9th.
April 9th.
Yes.
Yeah, and just one last point. We have several ISPs have agreed to attend both in person and virtually. I've told them to plan on 5 minutes, shoot for not more than 10, to just move as quickly as possible through what are they planning to apply for. At this point, I think just about everybody understands how this works. So.
Ma'am.
So are we taking the lead on that to the local municipalities, or is Southwest Planning Commission taking the lead?
No.
So when
County.
the
BC
county,
BIT.
so if the local municipality has a grant, who should they be contacting? You?
So the simple answer is yes, I will help any of the local units with understanding what comes next.
But put simply, this would not be a grant to the local, not to the county. It would be direct funding from the state to the internet service provider. All that's being asked is support statements to help bolster their applications.
Terry, did you have anything else?
No, sir. Thank you.
Mimi?
Yes, I have a report. I did all that.
She did all of it and then.
I was at the Berrien County Opioid Committee meeting. And we are to evaluate the companies that, the two organizations that we gave money to. We had a Zoom meeting with the CEOB, which is a County Elected Officials Board with Michigan Works Connexus. And it's wonderful, the system, in that every 2 years, there are 3 counties represented. Every 2 years, the next county person takes the presidency. I don't have time. And that's why I told him I would not do it justice. And Julie says that she would do that. And so I supported the motion. It's great working with the Cass County, Van Buren and Berrien County. We're doing good things there. I'm trying to see. Oh, Silver Beach. I already talked about that. But they won the Southwest Michigan Chamber of Commerce, whatever, of the year. And we were so pleased about that. And Jill was not prepared. She didn't think they were going to win, so she didn't know what to say. But we, pushed her up there, go. And the 2 of her employees were with her, the ones that work at Silver Beach. So we were really pleased about that. That's it.
Okay, we'll move to the administrator's report, and he told me he doesn't have one. So then, yes, sir.
I have one item that I should have mentioned earlier, when Don Trail gave his report to us. The main entrance to the courthouse is gonna get redone. They're getting security upgrades. It's gonna be closed for a week. He talked about doing a press release, so the newspaper, but as far as our employees go, the north entrance, up the steps is gonna be used for the employees. And then there's another entrance just a little bit farther south on the west side of the building, I think that's gonna be for the public. And he said it'll be closed for about a week. So I just wanted to put that out there so everyone's aware that it will be, and it's because of the security upgrades. Thank you.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
I have a question of the administrator.
Yes, ma'am.
We received something over the weekend. It was dated Saturday, and it was full of numbers. Was it this or is it something else? I didn't know what all those sheets were.
So what you're looking at, those are the, just a breakdown of the 2024 purchase orders. I will happily walk you through it as we wrap up today's meeting.
Okay, thanks.
All right, we'll go to general public comments now. Anyone wishes to be heard, name and town, and talk to the little box with the green light. All right, based on that reaction. All right, I think we're okay. Other business, sir.
I would like to do my conflict of interest disclosure.
Okay. You and the gentleman to your right still have that. So Ray, you want to do yours today or next week?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think today. Yeah.
I can go first and then you can.
Okay, go ahead.
So I do not have anything in the previous 12 months, any transactions or arrangements that I want to talk about. I do have potential conflicts that I just am out of caution saying that I'm the executive director of 2 nonprofits that get grant funding and different things. I don't have any contracts or grants with the county or anybody that's associated with the county, but I like to put that out there. I'm on the board of directors for the National Association of Counties, and I'm also the co-chair of the Allies and Leaders for Police and Community Trust, or ALLPAC. An actual conflict that I did not vote on was Lauren being appointed to the Mental Health Authority. I know it's probably not the biggest thing in the world, but I just like to keep that out there that she is appointed to a county board. And then I am appointed to the NACO Board of Directors, the Michigan Community Corrections Board, and I was recently appointed to the Next Gen Professionals Board of Directors, which is a economic kind of networking entity in Southwest Michigan. And that is all I've got.
Commissioner Pitchford, can you just state the name of the two organizations that you're?
Yes,
executive-
Berrien Forward and Berrien Connection are the two nonprofits, 501c4 and a 501c3.
Could you tell us Lauren's last name?
Scott for now until May.
Okay, Ray, are you
Yeah.
ready?
So as far as potential conflicts, no update from last year. The only potential conflict that I have is being a board member of Caring Connection, which oversees West Michigan Guardianship, and we have a ongoing contract with them. No actual conflicts, and then outside boards and committees that I've been appointed to. I'm a member of the Corewell Health South Health Equity Committee. I am a member of the Michigan Committee on Juvenile Justice, appointed by the governor. And I am the vice president of the Berrien Connection 501c3 board. Yeah, that concludes my board appointments.
All right, corporate counsel, do we need anything more?
Nothing more. Thank you.
Okay, thank you both. Any other business? Anyone have anything? Announcements and reminders. I think trust and investments in Wenzel at noon today. Anyone have anything else to share? All right, see you next Thursday at 8:35. We're done.